What is going on, everybody? It has been a minute since I've gone live, so I'm excited to be back. This is my first time going live on X. So if y'all are over there, what's up to everybody on X? I'm excited to be here, testing out this. Hopefully y'all can hear that. Let me see. Let me make sure we're good over here. Make sure our audio is good. All right. All right. I think we're good. Hopefully y'all can hear the sound effects and stuff, because I want to make this a good show tonight. I'm excited to be diving in to Manus AI, which is like one of the newest AI dev tools out here. There's a bunch of them, and this is the newest one that's supposed to be built for production applications. So think Bolt.new Lovable V0, but for production level applications, taking this a step beyond just prototyping. This thing is supposed to be the real deal in terms of back-end development and just understanding requirements. So I'm kind of excited to dive into this. So I am starting from complete scratch. I got the email. This is a invite only software at the moment. So I got the email, and I'm going to open it right now and get into it. If y'all are watching, feel free to start leaving some comments of what we should build, because I have an idea in my mind if nobody ends up kind of dropping some ideas before we get started. But I'm really curious if there's anything y'all want to see us try to build, and let's push this thing to the limit, because I have no idea what's possible with it. But if you've been checking these tools out, then you know just how big of a deal it is. So let's go ahead and let me share my screen and let's just go ahead and dive in real quick. So like I was saying, this is the email that you'll get when you sign up to actually use Manus. And yeah, you have to get invite only access right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess just sign up. See if we can get here to the dashboard. Looks like we are in. What does it say? Thanks for being an early adopter. Your passion and creativity here have been inspiring. Today, we're excited to announce two major updates introducing Managed Membership Beta. We're launching blah, blah, subscribe now, menu, mobile. Let's just get into it. Okay, so we got like a chat GPT experience kind of going on. Let me see. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 sec. I want to check this. Make sure y'all can still hear these effects. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. It's not perfect, but at least the effects are going on in the background. So we got a little something going on. All right. So let's try to see what we got here. So very chat GPT like feel in the UI for sure. We can do attachments. What do we have here? We got standard, and then we got high effort. What is high effort? High effort mode employs longer chain of thought reasoning and performs more detailed task breakdowns, though it requires more processing time and consumes more credits. During the beta stage, this mode is only available to Manus Pro users. Okay, fair enough. So I guess we have 1,000 credits right here. Yeah, so we have 1,000 free credits. Let's see what this says. Let's learn more. How the credits work. Oh, exactly how the credits work. Credits are primarily consumed based on LLM tokens used for task planning, decision making, and output generation. Virtual machines used for cloud environments to support file operations, browser automation, code execution. Third-party APIs used for accessing integrated external services such as financial data and professional databases. Let's see. The specific credit consumptions for a task is determined by its complexity and duration. Credits are only consumed during active task processing. Completed tasks in the storage or deployment of their outputs do not consume any credits, so there's no need to delete completed tasks. Product full reads, blah, blah. Okay, usage examples. All right, how to get more credits, blah, blah. Started playing $300 a month. Okay, cool. All right, so we got 1,000 credits to work with. Looks pretty standard. All right, let's let's go ahead and get ready to jump in. we come back over, see if we have any comments. I don't think we have any comments yet. So, all right, let me go ahead and see. So, back in 2016, I was trying to build this app, right, that helped teachers and students on group projects. Because teachers hated doing group projects because they never knew who did the work, and then students hated doing group projects because the teacher never knew who did the work. So everybody got the same grade. So I'm basically thinking let's try to do that because back in 2016, I was quoted like 20 grand on an MVP to build this thing out in Ruby, and let's just try to let's try to push this thing to the max. I have no idea what it's capable of, so let's try to get it to build that and see what it does. Right. So let's say let me move this keyboard out the way. So I'm say I want to create a responsive web app that helps teachers and students manage group projects. The app should allow teachers to create classrooms, add or invite students by email address, and create groups. For creating groups, a teacher should be able to automatically generate groups or manually assign students to them. Teachers also need to be able to create projects create projects that have work associated with them for students to do. Students should be able to do the work and submit it for review by the teacher. Should I specify like the back end? Should I say I want this to be in a specific language? I think so. Why not? Let's try it. Act as a senior software architect and develop this as a Ruby on Rails application. Focus on making the UI UX modern, appealing, and user friendly. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Let's see what Manus can do. I will help you create a responsive web app for managing group projects using Ruby on Rails. Oh, I understand you need a system where teachers can create classrooms, invite students, form group. Oh, wait, y'all. This thing might actually do like specifics. It might know how to do specific languages where that is what like Bolt and Lovable and stuff like that kind of struggle with. You have those are really for JavaScript frameworks only. This thing is oh man, it's running like I see Rails. I'm starting to see like Rails specific stuff. Like this command right here is running Rails commands. Oh, this might be kind of nasty. I need to install Ruby on Rails on the system before proceeding with the application development. I'll now set a Ruby on Rails environment and all necessary dependencies for our group project management application. Okay, so when you first create a Ruby on Rails app, if y'all haven't worked in Rails before or Ruby, I mean, I guess it's like any language. You have to install like dependencies and stuff, right? But Ruby, you have like an environment that you typically need to have, like a Ruby virtual environment or something like that to run everything on. And so this is basically saying that it's going to set all that up and it's running all the commands related to Ruby. It's using Node. I didn't specify the front end, by the way. So I'm really curious to see, does it build the entire thing as like a full stack Ruby on Rails application with the front end being in Ruby or some type of like, I think it's called Turbo. I don't really use that part of Ruby, but whatever the front end part of the kind of Ruby world is, I wonder if it's going to use that, or I see Node being installed. So I wonder if it's going to maybe do some combination of using React in the front end. Because I didn't really specify that. I just said use Ruby on Rails. So I'm really curious what this is. What's this say? While Manus is working, you can send messages anytime to modify tasks, add information, or stop current work. Feel free to leave the page. Manus will continue working in the background, notify you when the task is complete. That's very nice. We got a little timer here showing us how long this thing's been going. So that's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Very chat GPT like. I guess one thing I can say is like other platforms let you see the code as it's happening. I don't know that we get to see that any kind of way. So it looks like this is kind of our status updates happening right here in the chat, which is not bad, but just something to point out that other platforms, you can actually see the code being written, which I mean, I guess while it's working in real time, it doesn't really matter if we can check it out when this runs. But I guess that's just a call out at a first glance, something to just notice. But all right, what's this say? I'm encountering permission issues when installing Rails. Let's try an alternative approach using the user install flag to install gems locally for our user account. This will allow us to proceed with setting up Rails development environment without requiring system-wide permissions. Setting up Rails environment by configuring path for gem executables. Okay, so yeah, I mean this like, I mean this is really real stuff and like really standard stuff that would actually happen if you had just bought a computer and open it up and we're trying to install Ruby on your computer, you'd be going through the exact same stuff that this is kind of talking about. If you aren't really good with like OS level permissions and stuff like that, this is definitely these are real things that you have to manage. Like Ruby versions are a thing too that you have to manage. So you know, it's interesting to watch it kind of think in real time and kind of walk through some of that stuff. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, great progress. I've successfully installed Ruby 3.02 and Rails 7.15 with user level permissions. Now I'll create our Rails application with Postgres as the database, which is ideal for this type of application due to its robustness and scalability. I'll proceed with creating Rails application structure and installing essential gems for authentication, UI frameworks, and other required functionality. Oh my God. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. We can't over or understate how crazy that is. So it just in this virtual environment where it's creating this app, it really just installed the dependencies for Ruby, installed Ruby, did all the operating system stuff to kind of get that set up. Now it's like, okay, now that that's done, I can start building the application. Now it's like I'm going to use Postgres. I didn't tell it to use Postgres. I just said build this app. It defaults to Postgres, which I'm happy about. That's what I would use if I wanted to make this a real app. So that is really nice. And it said that it was going to install essential gems for authentication, which is really nice because I didn't tell it to do authentication, but it's going to do that out of the box. UI frameworks, I have no idea what that means, but we're going to see. I think it's going to do something with React, but I'm curious to see what it does. And other required functionality. So we can't see the code being generated, but from the steps that it's taking, it makes a lot of sense. I'm encountering a dependency issue while creating the Rails application. The system is missing the YAML, which is required for the psych gym. I'll install the dependency and then retry creating our Rails app. So we haven't gotten started yet. Great success or great progress. I've successfully created the Rails application with Postgres database configuration. That application structure is now in place. Next, I'll install gems for our project, including devise for user authentication. So that's like a very common gem in Ruby and Rails. So makes sense there. I wouldn't use that personally, but I didn't tell it to do something else. So that makes sense that it defaulted to what is like a popular known gem for that. Bootstrap or Tailwind for modern UI UX. So it is going to keep everything probably just in Ruby. It's including on the front end as well, like whatever the framework is or however it uses it. I think it's going to use Turbo or whatever. Additional gems for group management functionality. Interesting. I don't know any gems for group management functionality, so I'm curious what that is and what that does. I'll then configure the database connection and prepare the environment for developing our group project management application. So it's basically saying that it's just setting up the the very foundations of what we need, and yeah, that is pretty solid. So while this is working, let me see if there's anything in the chat yet. See, not yet. All right, cool. We will just keep flowing then. Let's see what happens. So it's taking some time. So we can see the elapsed time right here, like 7.5 minutes so far. But I'm not mad at that because I mean, depending on how this thing turns out, it's doing so much work. How could you be mad at this? One thing I'm curious about is will I be able to do something with this code? This is doing a whole lot, and I don't see a way like share public access anyone can view. I'm really curious about this because it doesn't look like I can get the code anywhere unless maybe I just need to upgrade or I would need to be some type of like paid, user to be able to do that. But if I couldn't get the code for this, that would definitely be not good. Because what's the whole point of doing this if I can't get the code? And then also, I think another issue that could be like as I think about it, all the system level stuff that it just set up is all specific to whatever environment this thing is building on. I really have no idea what operating system this is using. It looks like Ubuntu right here. So basically, I think if you wanted to grab the code for this and actually just build it locally and try to like start adding stuff to it, you would run into, even if you could get the code, because right now I don't see a way to get the code, which sucks. Um, but if you could, you would definitely need to use Docker or something like that and have this thing generate like a Docker. So I'm really curious, like, will it do that automatically? Because you would definitely want to have like a Docker container or something to make this really easy to run without having to go through all of this and manage all the dependencies on your local machine. So I don't know, but I think that's definitely one of the downsides I see just right now. I don't see how you would either commit this to GitHub or deploy it or just get access to the code like as a zip file or something. But let's see what we got. I'm currently installing essential gems for the application. The installation is taking some time, particularly with the SAS gem, which requires native extensions to be compiled. While this is processing, let me outline what I'll be doing next to complete our initial setup. Configure device for authentication with teacher and student roles. Set up our Bootstrap for modern responsive UI. Configure the Postgres database connection. Initialize Pundit for authorization policies. Set up simple form for better form handling. Once the gems are installed, I'll generate the necessary configuration files and prepare the environment for our database schema design, which will be the next major step in our development process. All right, y'all. I mean, we might be sitting for a while because this thing is really doing some serious work. And I'm curious how many tokens this is going to take because right now I don't see where it tells me how many tokens I have. So I have no idea how many tokens this is like using. Maybe it'll tell me when it finishes. maybe that's part of it. Like it has to determine the complexity, and if it runs into issues, that might cost more credits. Let's see. The bundle installation is taking some time, particularly while compiling native extensions for the SaaS gem. This is normal for initial setup. Let me continue with configuring these gems, setting up database connection. I'll then proceed with designing the database schema and models for our application, which will include user model with teacher student roles, classroom model, group project model, assignment, submission model. I'll focus on creating a modern user-friendly interface throughout the development process. Set up Ruby on Rails project with necessary dependencies. Great progress. I've successfully installed all these essential gems for our group project management application. The bundle install process has completed successfully. Now I'll proceed with configuring these gems and setting up the database connection. Let me start by setting up device for user authentication. Blah, blah. This will complete our initial setup phase before moving on to designing the database schema and models. I mean, so far, y'all, I have no complaints. This is pretty wild to see where this is headed. And even though there's no like, I don't know. Let's look it up. Can you get code from Manus AI apps? While Manus AI platform leverages AI to process and generate various forms of data, including code, you can't directly obtain the source code of their app or platform. Okay, y'all. I think that right there should be probably a deal breaker for everybody on this live stream. Because if you can't get the code, I'm not sure what the point of this is. I mean, prototyping is an advantage if you want to say that, but there are other tools that will let you prototype and get the code. So it's almost like, why spend all this time doing this if you can't get the code? Um, and I'm sure they're working on that. I mean, you still have to get access to this, like private access to this. So I'm sure it's on their roadmap to allow you to deploy the code and push to GitHub and get. I hope if they don't, I mean, I'm sure that's got to be somewhere on the roadmap. I hope. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what the value of this is. Like, it's great that it does back end stuff, but if you can't get the code, I don't really know what the point is. You might as well just build it with something else using a JavaScript framework or whatever in the front end and just, build your own back end and connect to or something. But it doesn't really make sense if you can't do much with this outside of the managed kind of environment. I wonder if too, like when we go to share right here, we go public access. I wonder if, you know, do people just see the app inside this little managed container or environment that we're in? Or do they see it like a regular app? Because that's one thing that all the other tools let you do. Bolt, Lovable, V0, all those tools let you actually deploy your app and let users experience it like a real prototype. So I don't know, man. That could be a big L for Manus, in my opinion. That's just me though. Been caught an issue with Postgres. Yeah, y'all. Okay. I thought we were going to be building a little bit more like faster. But granted, this is doing a lot of work, so I don't want to take away from Manus just to say that, I thought we'd be seeing some progress by now. Which we are. I'm just checking the live stream to see if there's any comments. Make sure y'all drop any comments if you have any like questions or anything you want to see, anything you want me to try out when we finally get past this initial point right here. But I think when it comes to taking a lot of time on this part, the building, I use Chat GPT Deep Research, and if y'all use that too, you know that it's not uncommon for it to also take like anywhere from 5 to 15 or more minutes to generate something, just depending on how much research it does and what it's doing. So I don't think it's a bad thing that this is taking already 15 minutes. And it hasn't even started doing the work yet. Like honestly, right now it's just running into an authentication issue with Postgres and trying to set up the database. So we're 15 minutes in and it technically hasn't even started on the code yet for the application. All it's done is installed Ruby installed the dependencies. Now it's setting up the database and it's running into issues. So you can look at that however. You could say, like, could you do it faster in your own? Whoa. Okay. Now it's updating the plan. So if y'all notice, this chat just started over. We were at like 15, 20 minutes. Huh. I don't know if this is the same plan, and it said that it just finished this first part, so now it's moving on to this part. Because it said updating plan, like I thought that meant it like pivoted and was gonna take a different approach, but maybe not. So maybe this is. Oh, okay. So maybe this is really where we are in the process. So that first step took 15 minutes. Interesting. And now we're on 2 of 8. Huh. We might be here a while, y'all. But this is all happening from one prompt. So, you know, I mean, what can you really say, right? Like, I mean, yeah, that's interesting. So from one prompt, I mean, I wonder how long this thing is going to take. So that first run was just like 15, 16 minutes. Oh, what are we doing now? I'll design these modes. Okay, well, set up Postgres and then create the necessary user. Okay, dope. That is that. This can't be underestimated. Like setting up Postgres and creating the user on the operating system for Postgres is like, yeah, that's pretty wild. Um, Creating a new application with Postgres. The application is now ready for the next phase. Design the database schema and models. I'll focus on creating these models. I'll design these models with appropriate relationships to support all the required functionality, including teachers creating classrooms, inviting students, forming groups, both automatically and manually, creating projects with associated work, and allowing students to submit work for review. Would you like me to proceed with designing the database schema and models now? Wait, whoa, is it asking me to make a decision? Uh, can I just say yes? Okay, great. I'll continue with designing the database schema and models for your group project management application. I'll create other necessary models for appropriate relationships to support the required functionality. Let me proceed with creating the classroom group project assignment and submission models along with their join tables for proper associations. That is really nice. I'll ensure the models are designed to support all the requirements, including teacher creating classrooms, blah, blah, blah. Okay. One task is pending. What is this? What is happening? Knowledge when Manus to learn. Preferences. Manus will automatically recall relevant knowledge when needed. Pending. Use when developing web applications for the user authentication specific. Focus on content. I don't know what this is. All knowledge. Whoa. Knowledge enables Manus to learn your preferences and task specific best practices. Add knowledge. Manus use this knowledge when. Huh. Hmm. I'm just thinking, y'all, like that's interesting. Trying to think about like what I would use this for. Mm, hmm. That's interesting. You can't add links, you know? It's not like you can add a link to another service or like an API documentation, which would be nice. I'm thinking about like Cursor, you know what I mean? Like how you can kind of link to other stuff outside and have it reference that. I think that might be more useful than me saying when to use this thing. And I mean, I don't know, maybe that is still useful. Um Maybe it is still useful, but I don't know, like in this content area, like I don't know what I would put in here. Hmm. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm still kind of pissed they don't let you get the code. That's kind of where my head is at. Like all this work we're doing right now, or that Manus is doing, I guess technically, and we can't get the code. Like, what are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Um, so yeah, we are on our third task now. I hope this thing has an elapsed time. This might take the whole stream. I was gonna stream with y'all for like an hour, and I feel like this might actually take the entire stream. Do we have any comments yet? Not yet. Uh, let's see. I've successfully completed the database schema. Here's what I created: a user model with device authentication for roles, teacher and student associations with classrooms, groups, and submission. Yo, damn, that is pretty crazy. Classroom model belongs to a teacher. That's correct. Has many students through classroom memberships. Correct. Has many groups and projects. Yeah. Includes validation and helper methods. Classroom membership model connects students to classrooms. Includes validation to ensure only students can join classrooms. Group model belongs to a classroom. Has many students through group project or through group memberships. Yeah. This is correct. I mean, I just can't. Wow, it's just so wild that we can't like. It's gonna take some time before we see the output, y'all. I mean, I wish this was probably a little bit more engaging, but I guess you could legitimately wake up in the morning, open Manus, and just type an app idea, and just go about your day, go to work, and just come back and have an app. Um, that you can't use, of course. Like you can't take it anywhere or like do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep like nailing that point home. But you know, but yeah, you can build an app, I guess. Uh it's nice to not have to do the constant prompting. Even when you run into an error, these other tools do require you to like manually intervene and actually, you know, like acknowledge the error, copy paste it, or push a button to fix it or something like that. So I do like that man is kind of like self guides. That part is pretty cool. It'd be cool to see other platforms also kind of take that approach. Just letting it do its thing. You know what I mean? Um, I also like that you can talk to Manus while it's working and it'll update based on that. I think that's really cool too, because I don't know if other platforms let you do that. I guess I haven't tried it, but I do like that though. I do like that. Um, so we're on task 4 now. So we are 4 of 8, halfway through, I suppose. And yeah, we're gonna we're gonna see, man. How long does this take? How long have we been streaming so far? We're 34 minutes in. So basically, for this entire stream, if you're just joining, we have been prompting Manus with one prompt only to create this app that helps teachers and students on group projects. And it's a Ruby on Rails application. It's done a lot of work, but we haven't been able to see anything so far. So, I mean, the chat is really all we have. I don't know what this task thing is over here. I don't want to do it right now because I feel like, well, I wonder if you could, I don't want to push it yet just in case it like stops what we're doing here. But I feel like if you could start another task and have this task still running, and then you could have another task doing something else, that would be crazy. Let me can you run two tasks in Manus AI at once? Mm. Manus is incredible except for the usage limits. Let's go to Reddit for a minute. The only thing wrong with this is that I only get one task a day. Oh, okay. I had three tasks a day initially. I used three tasks to become familiar with the system and to make the first functional version of product. Now it's taking me days to update because I only get one task a day. Is there any way I can get at least three? This was 12 days ago, too. I have unlimited tasks, reported some vulnerabilities in their system, and got tester privileges and unlimited sessions. I can work on 10 projects at a time. It's so fun. Wait, wait. Did y'all just I'm sorry. I gotta process that one. Um you can do 10 of these at one time? Yo, that oh man. Can y'all imagine? Like, can y'all imagine? Like, you could have 10 of these running at the same time? Is that like, did I read that right? 10 projects at a time. It's so fun. Damn, that's crazy. So, y'all, in theory, you could sit down and brainstorm like 10 shitty app ideas. If you paid for Manus, you could just come in here and fire up 10 chats with one prompt each. And presumably, we'll see have a functional version of all 10 at that. Oh man, at that point, it's almost like you even got to wonder about the ROI. Like, what is the point of this? Like, is that even a good thing? Like, I don't even know at this point. We're on task 6 of 8. How far are we into the stream? That's how I'm keeping track of this. 38 minutes. So this entire time we've straight up just been building. And let's see, I guess what else is it? What is it doing right now? I've implemented the student group management functionality for our group project management application. Here's what I've accomplished. Create a comprehensive groups controller. Create a comprehensive groups controller with complete CRUD, create, read, update, delete, automatic group generation functionality, manual assignment to groups, role-based access control, implemented automatic group generation with 2 options, create a specific number, distributed students evenly, or create groups with a specific number of students per group. Damn, that is sick. Oh, gotta call y'all. Let me take this real quick. What's happening? All right, sorry about that, y'all. Make sure we're still good over here on the stream. All right, let's get back into it. Yeah, no, this is absolutely crazy. Like, this is absolutely crazy. This I was wondering how it was going to automatically group the groups, and the fact that they gave you two ways to do it, and these are definitely the two ways that a teacher would want to do it. You can tell I've worked on this problem in the past, right? That is really good. That is really good intuition. Designed and implemented all necessary views. Index view for showing all groups with auto generation form, detailed group view with student management interface, form for creating and editing groups. The group management system now allows teachers to create groups manually with custom names and descriptions. What? Generate groups automatically based on preferred distribution. Add or remove students from specific groups. View project submissions by group. Next, I'll implement the project assignment and submission system, which will include project creation, interface for teachers, assignment distribution to groups, submission system for students, grading and feedback mechanism for teachers. What? We didn't even specify that. Like, we didn't even say anything about that. And it oh that's crazy. I want to know how is it going to even do that? I want to know how is it even going to do that? Like how is the UI going to look? Like what what does that even mean? This will complete the core functionality needed for managing group projects effectively. Um all right. We're still on step 6. Build project assignment and submission system. So it's going to design the UI last. That's interesting. It said it created some routes or some views, but I guess maybe this, I don't know. Styling maybe is this part? I don't know. Conduct comprehensive testing, deployment, and documentation? Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this last step? I don't even believe that. I mean, I guess we're going to see, but what? Comprehensive testing deploy. Okay. I have to be fair now, right? Yes, it's can't get the code. You can't. Well, I mean, I don't know where this deployment is going, but it doesn't seem like you can push it to GitHub. So I don't know where it's going to deploy it, but I feel like you won't be able to get access to it though. Outside of that, documentation, I have to know what that means. Is that just a README file, or is it really going to produce some type of doc? And what is it going to document? Is it just going to document like the technical stuff, like the API endpoints, or is it going to document the user experience, like how the user should actually use the application? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, but I don't know what that means. And none of these other platforms actually create documentation for you. So that is a really interesting feature. Testing, I'm really curious about that. It's going to test itself. Mind you, I still don't know how many credits I have or how many I've used. So we had 1,000. So all this is happening for less than 1,000 credits. It seems like we're going to at least build one app if all this works out of the box. But this is insane, y'all. This is crazy. And I think, oh man, let's see if we have any comments over here. Is there any comments? No comments yet. Still all good. I think that a lot of people don't want to say, a lot of people want to say, like, oh, AI isn't perfect and we'll always need software engineers and everything. And that is true. I definitely believe that software engineers will always have a job no matter how that role changes. But I don't know how people feel so confident saying that things aren't going to change. Because if this thing let me push to GitHub, get access to this code, could create a Docker file for me where I could run this with Docker, and I could choose my deployment. Like I could connect it to just wherever I wanted to deploy my back end or front end. Like there's just a few things that this thing would be missing. Yeah. like, and again, I'm not saying you wouldn't have software engineers because for a non technical person, you won't be able to take this and make changes to it or do anything with it. You will need technical people to actually make changes to this or build on this or whatever. Or even just to make architectural decisions, right? You can't, when you start talking about building out things like microservices and other, like getting applications to talk to each other and stuff like that, these tools can't help you with that, at least right now. Um, so you'll always need people who understand really how these things are working under the hood and developers on your team and at your company. But the work is going to change so much. I don't think we even know. I mean, we're so early into all of this to see it doing all of this, even though Manus is the only one that does these things specifically right now. You can imagine that everybody else, Cursor, all of them are paying attention because if they're not, like it's over. You know what I mean? So they're definitely paying attention. And if they as the competition picks up between all these different platforms and tools, they're gonna get better. This is gonna push them all to get better. And they're gonna have to start writing documentation and doing testing and doing back end and things like that. And we're just gonna get to a really crazy place with all of this. As a person who used to not code and try to start startups and build products and just how difficult and expensive and time consuming it was, and to see how far we've come in like 10 years, man, is just, this excites me. That's why I'm always pushing back on the kind of purist minded folks who don't think this is a good thing for tech. Like, I understand the concerns 100%, but um, in terms of creativity and different people getting their ideas out in the world and just being able to contribute and build things and not be necessarily like limited by their technical background, I think it's a net good. I think we get more good out of it than bad. Not to say that there isn't bad stuff. Of course, can always find bad in anything, right? But I think there's a lot of good that's gonna come out of this. So we're finally at the last step, 8 of 8. How long have we been on the stream? 48 minutes. So so pretty much this entire time has been spinning up the project, which is wild. I mean, that takes longer than deep research or any other AI tool. I haven't even seen it process for 45 minutes at a time before. So that is definitely a first when it comes to Manus here. Um, I'm just ready to see what we got, y'all. Uh, I guess while we wait, I will shout out my startup, Career Stack. If y'all are looking to upskill or work on projects with other people, we are in early phases right now, like so, still getting like early feedback from users, and you can come in here and post your project up. Got a project right here looking to build some AI agents, which is pretty cool. We got like a med tech company on here looking for some collaborators, so If you're looking to post a project on here, we've got tons of people really from around the world looking to work on projects, and you can request feedback from them on your project and check out their profile and see what they're about. You can see the work that they've done, stuff like that. So we love your feedback. If y'all want to check out careerstack.co, and yeah, let me know what y'all think. It'd be great. So quick little shameless plug while we wait for Manus to finish up here on step 8 of 8. This step is running for a little over 5 minutes, this part right here. So after this, let's see if it spins up like some type of environment that we can actually play around with the app. And then we got to actually go through it and try it out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's see what we got, because I'm really geeked. Y'all probably like, shut up, Darren. Just get to it. Just let this thing build. Let's get it going. See what we got. Okay, so it's ah so it's creating some .md files, which are markdown files, and maybe that's what it means by documentation. So the documentation is probably going to just live inside the code base in these markdown files, I'm guessing, but still wondering like what the documentation is. All right, Manus wants to show notifications. Allow, I guess. Share a replay of your task. Manus has completed the work. You can now choose to share your task, including a step-by-step replay. Uh, uh, oh, all right. That's not like what we wanted though. Like I wanted to show me Manus has completed the task. Okay, so how do we build the app, y'all? What the hell? Wait. What? No way. No way. Wait a minute. There is no way I can't. I can't. Whoa. Are you telling me I just sat here for 40 minutes? Share a replay of this task. What is a replay? Okay, what is a replay? Am I missing something? What is that? Why would I want to see this? Skip to the results. No. No. What is this? Okay. Oh, so it walked me through everything that it did. Okay. How? Why would this be useful? Why the hell would I want to watch the chat run? Why would the most critical part of this entire thing not be building the app so I can use it? Why would I want to share the replay? Why would that matter? View off. Add if. Are, is this really like use application? What is this? Wait, what? You are using an unsupported command line flag. Dude, what's up? What is the wait a minute, y'all. What is going on? Is it on like localhost 3000? Like, where is the app? Okay. Do I need to go read the like I'm trying not to like trip out here, y'all. That we just spent 40 minutes and I don't want to believe that I can't view the app. But how did I just get back to that markdown like this? Wait, does it? Oh, I can download a single file, but not the whole project? Like, wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. Where was I just at? Oh, there is a Docker file. Oh, that's nice. Uh, expose 3000 rail server. So, so do I have to run the app myself? I'm so confused. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what the URL is. What the fuck? Um, what? How to run an app on Manus? The Manus goes, you'll need to install the Manus core. Your what? No. Using Manus AI? What is this? Uh, so far it's another marketing heavy project, but little substance like Devin. Mm, okay. That makes sense because right now this is pissing me off. I don't see a way to run this app. Like it's very do y'all have a is somebody put in the comments like do y'all see anything and I'm not seeing? Is it just me? Like I don't see any comments yet. Um I don't see a way to run this. What like use VS code? Okay. Are we getting somewhere? Can I get a terminal? Okay. Terminal? Okay. Where are we? Ah. Ah. Wait a sec. Ooh. Mmm. Okay. To allow us make sure the valid host names manage computer. Yeah, because oh my god, but that's the issue though, right? Like this can't run on my computer. It's not my local host. It has to run on this like bullshit manage thing. How do you do this? Oh, help me, y'all. Is somebody in the comments? Y'all know how how do I run this? Because I need to. Oh my god! Wait. Wait. What if we go to the Manus browser now? Can I run localhost 30 or 3000 since it's running on the machine? I can. And I get an error. I get a syntax error in the code and I can't even fix it. I mean, maybe I could. It's a syntax error in what file? Line 19 controller application controller. Oh my god. It's on the app controller, the application controller, line 19. I don't know why that's a I don't know why that's an error. Like uh, yeah, I don't know why it's an error. Uh, y'all, just because we're on stream and I'm trying to see the app, we're gonna try to like we're gonna try to figure this out real quick. How do I use this? This is not what I want. I just want to check this Ruby code. Expecting keyword end. What? Yeah, but the thing is, if I remove that, that's definitely wrong. I don't actually know what the issue is here. What is wrong with this bit of Ruby code? I am getting this error. Where is it? I mean, damn, Manus, this is unbelievable that this is like how much work it takes, because I think the average person would not be willing to do this, especially after they waited like 40 minutes for you to actually build that. And I can't even get the code, and the CPU shared the final end keywords accidentally spelled as Inda, simply changing it into what did I wait? Did I fat finger something? There's no way. There's no way that's like exactly the same. Or maybe it's not and I'm crazy. So let's stop that and let's go Rails S again. Boot it back up. Let's restart here. Okay. Still get an issue. Unexpected. All right, y'all. This error after making the changes. Oh, because at this point, I'm just gonna be pissed if I don't at least see what it created. You're missing the final end that closes it. You complete the function like this. Do y'all think that's gonna work? Do y'all think that is going to work? I'm gonna stop Puma again. Try this one more time. Oh wow. So that worked. We got a different error. Basically, y'all, it's a bunch of errors. What the hell? No method error in home index. And because we don't have any credits, I can't just like easily debug this. Something we already spent a bunch of credits doing. The home index controller. So home index. So what is the issue here? So okay, so I'm just gonna paste that in there and say um, uh, no method error. Um, for the following following Ruby code. Let's see. It looks like you have two identical definitions of home controller in the same file. Is that really what? Home controller. I mean, I have no idea, y'all. We're just trying shit at this point. I don't even see what that even just changed. Internal server error. Oh, yeah, okay, y'all. There's a lot of debugging that we have to do to even get this thing to work. It generated a bunch of code, which is great, and I think that's awesome. Um, you can't get the code directly in GitHub, but I wonder if you could, like, in theory, get the GitHub extension and from this VS Code. So if you use VS Code, you might be fine. You might be able to like still get the code. I don't know if you want this shitty code, but I think there's a way to do it. There is a Docker file, which is really nice, so that you could technically run this on your own machine without going through all the stuff. Let's look at the README stuff and see what it did. Nothing really. This markdown looks like it was like planning out itself for this last step: deploy and document application, write tests for core functionality, perform user acceptance testing. Boy, did you fail at that. Create documentation, set up deployment configuration, deploy application. Where did you deploy it to? Sandbox.txt inside the sandbox. Is there a proc file? There's a proc file. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. Like, it did all the right stuff in the wrong way, I guess. Like, I don't know if that even matters. This is basically useless. In my opinion. Like, just for this to be the first run at it. If you can't even see, like, I don't even know. I could go through and debug this thing, but I don't even know if the juice is worth the squeeze because it didn't show me what it was building along the way. So I wasn't seeing if I liked the UI it built or anything. And now at this point, it's like we're probably over an hour on the stream now, and I still didn't get to see what it really created. And if I'm spending more time debugging and doing all this shit, I could have been just building it myself to begin with to avoid like doing all of this. I get that not everyone's gonna have the option to do it themselves, but like it does there are other tools that are probably better for someone who doesn't code than using this, to be honest, because even if you do code, like I don't know why you'd want something that doesn't even build. I never had this problem on Bolt, Lovable, or anything else. I can take the code off of there, build it locally, and start extending it or doing whatever from like right on the spot. So I don't know, man. What do y'all think? I don't know if we have any comments. Looks like we don't yet. I don't know. I'm gonna call it a wash. Like I think that it's cool, but I'll just say that all the steps that it took to plan this project and do all these things. It claimed it did testing and deployment and documentation. I didn't see any of that. The documentation was really just the project plan that it wrote in a markdown file. That doesn't really help me or anybody else. The deployment, if it did deploy it somewhere, I couldn't see it. It didn't work. It won't even build. So it makes me think that all the other stuff is kind of useless that it did, because like while it's great, if you're building a bunch of code that ultimately doesn't build, then it's just bloat. And then I have to go figure out and spend my time debugging this thing to even see what did it build. Do like that you can go into VS Code and just kind of work from there. I think that is pretty dope. I think the concept of being able to like use the multiple tasks at one time and create things at the same time is really, really cool. It could be, but not if they're all going to be garbage though. So I don't like that. I think you should be able to just do more with this. Like I want to be able to deploy this to wherever, like Netlify, Heroku, Vercel. I want to just be able to like choose where I deploy it. What else? I don't know if you can collaborate on this. So like, could another person come in here and use the same task? Like you can share it, but I don't know that sharing it means that somebody can collaborate and also chat on it. I don't think that's the case. I think you can just watch a replay, which I gotta say the replay is pointless to me. I don't know why somebody would just want to watch a chat. So I don't know why that feature is there. Um, and yeah, I don't know, y'all. I'm pretty disappointed actually. I was really hoping this thing was going to be better than Bolt and V0 and like lovable, but honestly, right now I would stay with those, and also even Cursor or Windsurf. Like I'm happier with those tools. Somebody said this somewhere else, but they had a really good point that basically I think these tools are starting to become very like similar. There's not really a huge difference between one and the next one. Um, so while it's cool to see some of the ideas that Manus has in here, I think the the better thing for me personally is to know that it's something that's going to probably encourage other AI development platforms to build those type of tools into it. So I look at it as like it's cool to see where this could go and where this could, what this could mean for AI development. But this specific tool right now in this current state, I know it's still in like beta or whatever. So I wouldn't highly recommend it in this current form, but like 6 months from now or something, I would definitely check it out again and see, did they improve on these things? And I would 100% use it again because it did a lot of good work. I like the way it planned and thought through everything. And I love the fact that I could specify Ruby on Rails and I saw it actually building and doing all the things that I would do. And even down to the project structure, the way it thought about the group assignments and just the project planning and the logic was all there. So from one prompt, I'm really impressed with that. And I think it did a great job of understanding the requirements and even filling the gaps of a lot of things that I didn't tell it to do. Um, at the same time, I just think that the most important thing is that it builds working software, and y'all can clearly see that it didn't, and it wasn't just one little bug. We fixed one thing, which is already like a lot of kind of stuff that we had to do that we don't have to do on other platforms. But then even once we fixed that bug, there was another bug, and if I did spend time right now fixing that bug, there could be another one, right, and another one. And so like I don't know, man. I just think that made it kind of took a lot out of me in terms of excitement for this platform. But yeah, 6 months, I would give it another try. Definitely something to like maybe keep on the radar just to see where it goes and how it evolves. But basically, I hope this was helpful for y'all, man. I wish we could have got something actually built. That was definitely the intention of this live stream, 100%. But thank y'all for staying with me, and I hope y'all took something from this, even if it's that the platform is not really ready for use yet, or maybe just don't even believe all the hype or whatever other people are saying. I know they've had success. Maybe if I bought the credits right now, it'd be cool. But again, if I couldn't build something on the free tier, why would I spend $40 to keep prompting when I could use Bolt or all those other tools for $20 a month, or even Cursor as well? So I don't know. Just my 2 cents. Let me know what y'all think. Drop me some comments. Make sure you subscribe. Check out Career Stack if you haven't already. And I appreciate y'all. I will check y'all out in the next stream. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.